You'd be absolutely amazed the number of people that have seen one of our builds and like a color like Dragan, or a color like Laser, or a color like Hermes, or a color like Verbosca, and the list goes on. And the words they say is, oh my gosh, that's absolutely beautiful, but I don't know if I could own one that color. And then I ask the question, I'm like, why couldn't you own it that color? I don't know, it might draw too much attention. That's when I have to pause and I have to just think for a moment. If you're interested in a Helderburg, that's exactly what you're going to do, is draw a lot of attention. But you're not drawing the type of attention that people think that you're pretentious or ostentatious. You're drawing the type of attention that it's admirers, it's onlookers, it's people that are giving you a thumbs up, people that are smiling. And I know some of you watching this video right now are going, oh yeah, right, sure, that's just what you're saying. But I'll just tell you right now that I've had many a clients think that, but then after they get a Helderburg, they say, you were not kidding at all. In fact, you didn't really explain it as much as, basically, I've received a lot more attention than I thought I was going to receive. And the reason I tell you this story is because Dragan, it's unbelievable the amount of attention that Dragan gets. And you're probably saying, oh yeah, the color's kind of cool. I could never do that color. But, and I've said it many a times, that you really need to see a Helderburg in person. You need to see the colors, you need to see the depth of the paint, you need to see the attention to detail, and especially the performance and the interiors. And Dragan's been my personal favorite. I've been driving Dragan for a while, not as much as I would have hoped, and but I'm going to change that. And so let's talk about this build. Let's talk about what I did for my own personal build. And I'll just start off with that I have a exclusive series Porsche, which was a limited edition, one of 500 in the world that Porsche did as their anniversary car. And a lot of the parts were hand built. And this is the color that they used on it. So I wanted to have a matching combo, matching Porsche and a matching Helderburg. So I matched the color. And then I also added some carbon fiber bits, mirrors, front grille, those type of things, just to kind of have that the matching pair. So the color, yeah, that's the first thing you notice. And you really do have to see it in person, because it's not as gold as it looks on the video right now or in the pictures. It's got a deep base, like a deep mustard base under it, almost like a bronze, like not really a bronze, but more of a brown to it. And but when the sun hits it, oh my goodness. And in the shade, equally beautiful. So the color is the first thing you notice. And I left the color throughout. I didn't do a black roof because I have the roll cage, and the roll cage is the black, and I wanted the roll cage running across the top to be able to breathe, be able to be seen, basically, to create those lines. Did the louvers in the bonnet, did the carbon fiber front grille, did our standard black bumper, and then Maxxis Trepador tires. These tires look the part. I mean, they are unreal. But these tires are essentially like wearing some really high heels, that they're not going to be comfortable throughout the day. I'm not saying that it's hard to drive, but you do hear these tires when you start getting up into the speeds. And but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to take just for the looks. And then I also do use it here on the farm, so I never know what I'm going to get into, and these tires seem to outperform anything. But the biggest thing is cosmetic of why I chose these tires. And then just kind of moving down, because it is a 130, and I feel like every gentleman needs a truck. And for the simplicity that whatever comes up, if you need to haul something, you've got your truck. But really, it's just, if you're on a farm and you are a gentleman, I just think you need a truck, because there's nothing as uncool as borrowing somebody's truck or renting a truck, in my opinion. But this is not just like any other truck. I mean, it is basically the size of an F-150. You do have a 6-foot bed, but this is going to draw attention, unlike any F-150. I mean, I don't care what kind of F-150, F-250 you have, this is going to grab the attention. And best of all, it's a classic Land Rover Defender. This vehicle is 25 years old. They're not making any more of these. It's just going up in value. It's appreciating in value. And all you have to do is look at the auction prices and see how it's appreciating in value, because it is a classic Land Rover Defender. But let's layer something else onto it. It is a 130. And if you've watched any of my other videos on 130s, you know the purpose of this vehicle. Originally, it was built as a work vehicle. It really wasn't in the civilian market for the most part. It was built for people that were working on electrical lines, working on the railroad. It's doing logging. It's a heavy work truck is what it is. But being that it's a heavy work truck, there's just not many of these in existence. And anytime we come across a 130, I'm like, let's get it, let's buy it, regardless of what the price is. So Helderburg is definitely a company that's driving the prices up, just based on that we're buying these from individuals throughout Italy, Poland, France, Germany, any country that has original left-hand drives. But it's just so hard to find them. And when it does pop up, I mean, regardless of what they're asking, we're buying it, because there's simply never going to be any more of these. And new car manufacturers, whether it's Land Rover or whatever, they're never going to recreate something as iconic. And I mean, really, I think you'll agree with me, it's a piece of art. And then you add the bronzy gold, the metallic gold, and it really makes it look like jewelry and art too. Let's talk about the engine. I don't really like to get into specs, but I'm going to talk about a few little specs. And I think the best way to explain this, being the Mark 3.5, which is our exclusive performance design, is it will make a grown man pretty nervous. And I've had some guests and some friends that's visited, and I've taken them on regular paved roads, but I've taken them through the woods and up over some crazy climbs, inclines, over rocks, down declines, and I've seen them really holding on to that door handle a lot. And not just for the speeds, but also the sound, but the climbing ability of what this is able to do. And I'm just waiting for winter to come around so we can go to the ski lodge, and I know it's going to do a fabulous job regardless of the snow, just because it is a turbo diesel. It has a tremendous amount of torque. It's not all about horsepower, which makes your tires spin. It's about the torque that digs in. The torque is what you feel when you pull away from a stop sign and it puts you back in the seat. That's the torque. Torque is more important than horsepower, especially when it comes to a vehicle that's going to be a work vehicle or be in dicey conditions in weather or off-road or in the sand or wherever you might use it. So the engine, the turbo diesel, just makes a beautiful symphony, a sound that's when you get on it, it's very deep and throaty and raspy. And then when you drive it normally, you're a civilized gentleman, just not making a lot of noise in the neighborhood when you're leaving. Interior, I haven't really shown the pictures of the interior, because I know as soon as I show the interior, someone's going to want to buy it. And I kind of have that thing that when someone's wanting to take what I've built, it makes me very humble, makes me very appreciative, and I end up selling it, but I'm just not really ready for it to go away yet. Interior being a black and dark chocolate diamond stitch with a contrast butterscotch stitching. It's everything in its leather. It does have my high-fidelity audio system, meaning that it has the big Alpine screen. It has the Focal tweeters, which are the beryllium tweeters in the dash. It has the Utopia Focal that's in the air conditioning vents in the front. It's got dual subwoofers. I mean, this thing has some fabulous sound. It is a high-fidelity audio system, that's for sure. So it has everything. Alcantara headliner, it's got the lights. The only thing that I kind of go back and forth with is, should I do a roof rack and should I do a winch? So leave that in the comments. And this is Dragan. If you want to see more pictures of it, just, well, you're probably on Helderburg.com. And if you're not, just go to Helderburg.com and you can see some adventure videos with Dragan also.